What is up, YouTube? It is Daiki or Daiki Style Gaming, and I am back at it with another Borderlands 3 information video for you all today. And in this video, we're going to be going over a blog post by Scott Kestner talking about some of the weapons, loot changes, and others in the game. And then also we're going to be talking about ways to get some free loot for Borderlands 1, 2, and 3 even before it comes out with the new program that Borderlands is running. But first, let's hop into the blog post that Scott Kestner was interviewed in. And some of the information that we got from the blog post were slightly extended descriptions of each of the 4 Vault Hunters. But the two most important ones that added to the characters' descriptions that I didn't already cover on my Vault Hunter breakdown was Zane and Flak. Zane being the most important though, but we got a bit more detail on his character, stating that he was a semi-retired hitman who can cause chaos with digiclones and other gadgets. And then his description kind of went on to be similar to what I had posted in the Vault Hunter breakdown. And then Flak, same thing, his was pretty similar to the breakdown as well, but they did say he was a wandering robot who is a beast hunter. So again, I really am curious about Flak. I want to see how his character actually is integrated into the game. I want to hear his voice really and see how he actually plays in game, because I feel like he's going to be a pretty interesting character. And honestly, of the 4 new Vault Hunters, he probably seems to me the most interesting in terms of abilities and things that he'll be able to do. Next, we got an extended description on the Calypso twins, the new big bads of the game, but I will be breaking down the Calypso twins in a completely separate video, just talking all about the new big bads of Borderlands 3, so stay tuned on the channel for that. But then later on in the blog post, he went on to talk about co-op changes and then loot changes and weapons as well. So the first thing he said with co-op was that now you'd be able to play with your friends online or at home regardless of your level or mission progress. Now, we've been seeing a lot of looter shooters do this recently, and I'm actually okay with it. My biggest issue was probably just the missions, just because if they're story related missions, I wouldn't want players to get spoiled if they come in late or come in at a different point in the game than another player. But again, at least you can play with friends whenever you want. But having newer players hop into the middle of a story mission, I feel like is kind of spoilerish, but again, I guess they're doing it at their own risk. So, you know, I suggest either starting the game with your friends at the same time, or if you don't mind spoilers, you can play with them whenever, so go for it, I guess. The next part of the blog post went on to how they're making changes to the loot drop system now, mainly stating that now in Borderlands 3, all players will receive their own loot drops. So you don't have to worry about loot ninjas, but they did also go on to say that if you prefer the old free-for-all hectic loot drops like the classic games, you can actually turn that on. So there's going to be an option for you to play that way if you want to. And I'm glad they kept that in there as an option for those players who prefer to play like that, and I might actually keep it on like that as well, but pretty early on I might have it to where I get my own specific loot, just so I'm not getting my stuff stolen pretty early on in the game. The next important thing he touched on in the blog post were the different weapons. So now we got some descriptions on some of the previous weapon manufacturers in the game and their newest, as they stated, innovations. So first he talked about Atlas, and now Atlas weapons will fire tracker tags and smart bullets, so tracking missiles, bullets, things like that. So that'll be pretty interesting to see how those weapons all play out and how well the tracking system actually works. Next he went on to talk about doll weapons, and apparently they will feature alternate fire modes, similar to how some games like Warframe have weapons that have different fire modes like full auto, or you could toggle it to a burst or a semi-auto fire. So I'm assuming that's what he means by different fire modes. It definitely doesn't seem the most exciting of the returning weapons, but it'll probably still be fun nonetheless. And then lastly, he went on to talk about Mollywan weapons, and those can switch between 2 elemental types and they deal guaranteed elemental damage. And honestly, those are the weapons I feel like a lot of people are going to be using. You can't go wrong with guaranteed elemental damage, and weapons that can switch between multiple is always a good thing. And then lastly in the blog post, he went on to state that May 1st would be the worldwide gameplay reveal event. Now, I will leave the full blog post in the video description because that's not everything that was stated. I just took out the key important parts to talk about, but if you want to read the whole blog post, it'll be in the video description. But now that we got the blog post out of the way, let's talk about getting some free loot. So currently Borderlands is running their VIP program. It's a completely free program to sign sign up to that lets you get points for doing some of the simplest things like watching the trailer, linking your Twitch, inviting friends, and things like that. And all the points that you actually get from the site you can use for in-game loot with any of the Borderlands games. So if you want to get some gold keys for free, watch the trailer a couple times and spend your points on gold keys. Or if you want to save up your points, they teased 4 different items for Borderlands 3 that you'll be able to get. 2 were weapons that we don't know what they are right away, but then we also saw 2 items teased for Amara and Zane. Now what's also pretty dope about the program is that when you sign up, if you've already pre-ordered the game, you get an early adopters pack that contains loot for Borderlands 3. And the pack contains the Children of the Vault weapon, an Echo device scan, and 5 gold keys to use in Borderlands 3. Again, like I said, if you want to, you can definitely join up. It's free to join up. I did it just for the hell of it because, again, free loot is free loot, so you can't go wrong with it. But I just wanted to let people know that that was something that Borderlands was doing. So if you want to sign up for that, earn some free loot before Borderlands 3 comes out, or if you're currently playing some of the current Borderlands games that are out right now, you can still earn loot for that as well just by signing up to this program. And you can either sign up via email or your in-game PSN, Xbox login, anything like that. And I know this sounds like a plug, but trust me, I wasn't paid to say this. I just thought it was a pretty cool feature and wanted to let people know about it. But with that, I am going to call it a video. Thank you all for watching. Like always, like I said, I will be having a lot more Borderlands 3 videos on the channel. I have a Calypso Twins video getting ready to come out probably tomorrow or the day after, talking about the new villains of the game. And then I'll also cover a bunch of other games on the channel too. So if you're interested, definitely leave a sub. So thank you all for watching. Like always, links to my social media accounts are in the video description, so go check them out if you haven't. I will catch you all on the next one. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subs. Peace.